How's it going, everyone? My name is John. I'm a software engineer with about 10 years of experience. Let's build some features. Today, we are continuing to work on the YouTube transcription logic in Python. In the last stream, we found that this PyTube library, as well as the former YouTube transcript API, were not working. And I think I have a new approach here. I think the new idea is that we combine them basically. So let's look at this error one more time. This is the captions object. So the issue is that transcripts are not captions, and captions are often empty. So one thing we can do is don't use this captions object. The captions object comes out of this YouTube video object, and I don't want to use this basically. I want to use the YouTube transcript API for the video. The problem is that the YouTube transcript API errored before we ever got to the video. It errored up here at playlist time when we're trying to identify the playlist. So the new idea is that we combine them, we grab the playlist using PyTube, and then we feed the URLs over to the YouTube transcript API. Cool, so I'm just going to grab this whole bit of code here. And we'll see what of these that I can retain. I think I'll drop the lock file. YouTube DL 2021-1217, find PyTube. So we have both dependencies here. So I will store this approach with both dependencies. And then I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do my idea. And if it has a hiccup, I'll fix it by hand. Let's use PyTube to grab the playlist object, then feed the URLs to YouTube transcript API so that we access the actual transcript for each video rather than the captions. I'll go ahead and stage this as well, just so that we can see the diff when I paste the code. So what I'm expecting is that line 23 not only is literally gone, but the abstract approach is also gone. That class should not be utilized at all. Also, this splitting logic is really not necessary. I can use the video URLs literally, so I should be able to iterate through the video URLs directly. Let's make sure that ChatGPT does that. FV, Control F, Control V, we come down here. Yeah, and it looks like it passed that check that I just conceived of. So it grabs the playlist object, iterate through video URLs. Here it is still splitting, and here it is still getting the YouTube transcript. I'm not really sure why. Okay, so it's getting a variety of other properties, which I really don't care too much about. Primarily, I care about the transcript. But if this works, it doesn't hurt because it's getting likes, and views, and length, and a bunch of other nifty, useful data. So Control A, V, S. Joshua, thanks for the likes. Thanks for being here, y'all. Let's re-import. Oh, import YouTube DL. Nope. Control Z, undo that. Control X, Z. So I have YouTube on my clipboard. And I will specify the import because VS Code didn't auto-detect it, okay? Other than that, this looks pretty good. Did it hallucinate the likes property? So I'm control clicking on this YouTube object, control F, likes. So I don't see a likes property. Here, notice the white text. I'm getting some visual feedback from my IDE on likes, dislikes, comment count. So I'm not sure that these exist. So I'm going to control click that. Because honestly, those are useful, but they're really of secondary interest to me. The main thing that I want is the transcript. Alfredo, hey, what's up? Thanks for being here, Alfredo. Good to see you. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube and see the whole video, the full screen, and chat with our friend Alfredo. Okay, so let's run it this way. The playlist URL is my shorts playlist. This is the playlist that we're transcribing. And just for context, the reason that we want to transcribe this is so that I can provide a free primer prompt to Claude, which will allow Latterly users to have a free chatbot. So latterly.io, the link in my bio, will take you here, and you will get a checklist step-by-step how to learn to code and land a programming role. I would love to add a chatbot to the free tier. For as little as $1 a month, you can also support the channel, priority support, limited time, free one-on-one session with me, which is like a $100 an hour value, or, I mean, it's a 30-minute session, so I guess it's like a $50 value. You get that for as little as $1. Cool, so check out my bio if you're interested in that. Here I'm pasting the URL for the playlist. Alfredo says, look forward to our meeting Saturday. Yeah, that'll be great. Okay, an error occurred when trying to get the transcript. So what is the error? Now, it's an error when trying to get a transcript of a particular video. So we can confirm, but it seems to be the case that we were able to use the API to look up the video on the playlist, and then when we got to the video, it failed. So here I'm just hovering, and I'm looking at the URL in the lower left of my screen, v equals JHL2. So did we error on this? V equals JHL2. That's right. So we were able to find the video, and the system erred trying to produce a transcript for this video. This is a recently posted video, 43 minutes ago, you can see. And it does take YouTube time to transcribe these things. So let's verify that there is a transcript at all. Let's make sure that it exists first. Okay, so notice that I'm clicking the ellipsis, and I don't see an option for a transcript. So it may be the case that the transcript doesn't exist at all. Let's look to a... Oh, actually, there's no speech on this video. This just plays a background song, and then it's a meme. So let me find a video where I actually talk. So this would be one. This is hilarious, by the way. You should totally go watch this. Why JavaScript is the best programming language, period. And here we can show a transcript. Great. So for the moment, let's basically hard code this video. Just make sure that the transcription is working. For URL and playlist.videos, I'm going to say for URL in, and then I'm just going to hard code my one video of interest, my test case. Let's see what happens with this. Here we did get a JSON file printed, and it did a bit of a thing. And it died mid-print. That is wild. I think it's unexpected. It literally died mid-print. It must be when it tried to access the transcript was failure time. So here we try accept, transcript is none. Was it unable to print the none object? I thought it would be serializable into a null. Video data. I do say data, I don't say data. Object of type date time. Okay. So it was not the none that failed, actually. It was the date time. So which of these is a date time? That would be the published date. Cool. I actually get a kick out of unexpected bugs. I hope this doesn't stress y'all out. Dan, I'm the better coder. You may be, Dan. Thanks for being here. The error you're seeing is because date time objects aren't serializable, blah, 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 blah. I know, bro. ISO format, great. This looks good to me. And this is one of the reasons ChatGPT is so great, is I don't have to go through Google to remember the right way to do this. I would go Google it if I had to, but it just gives me the answer. It's more efficient than a Google, isn't it? So this will stringify the result. Let's try this again. I'm going to revert this broken JSON file. Let's delete that. Here I will stage the current state of the main file. Send it. It doesn't matter here. I'll just put 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it will matter. Okay, it still worked. Cool. Because I hard-coded the URL. It was going to retrieve a fake playlist, but I hard-coded the URL, so we're good. Dan says, I'm JK, I'm an ass. That's funny, dude. Thanks for the follow. CSR 000, what are we building? We are transcribing YouTube videos. So here's my YouTube shorts. I teach people to code with these. Okay, my channel's on YouTube. You can see the link in my bio. I'm streaming there right now if you want to see the full screen. And we want to transcribe these so that I can get the text and send it to Claude. Claude is a large language model, and it will allow us to implement a free tier chatbot. You can sign up for Claude for free. And you can attach a text file here up to 5 files up to 10 megabytes each. That's like a lot of text. It's a lot of text that you can attach, which will allow you to chat with all of my Learn to Code videos. So it's basically like kind of like a personalized chatbot, basically, that'll help you learn to code, is the goal here. Let me know if that makes sense or if there's anything I can clarify further. All right, cool. So we look over here. Thanks, Josh. This guy gets it. Okay, so the transcription worked. Transcription worked. Now, I do not like this transcript. Because look how much text it's going to take. Now, we just mentioned Claude will take 5 files of 10 megabytes each. And I don't even know if this is a single kilobyte. Still, I want to be judicious with my space allotment. Does that make sense? Do I care about the thumbnail? I don't know that I care about the thumbnail. The view count is good. The length is good. Those will be good for my analytics. Description, I want it, the published, okay, so I pretty much want this stuff, yeah, for analytical reasons. The transcript, I think I can consolidate into just a block of text. The start and the duration is not really helping Claude. What languages do you cover in your YouTubes? Whatever I'm using. TypeScript is the main one because I encourage people to learn JavaScript and TypeScript and React. So that's the main one, but sometimes I do data analysis and Python is the way to go for that, right? Very, very, very rarely you will catch me using Stata. Hopefully not anytime soon. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so I think I want to just collapse the transcript here. Or should I print this raw JSON file? Yeah, that's what I should do. So I want to print the raw JSON file, and in a second pass, I will collapse the transcript. Okay, so let's do this for now. We're going to remove line 19 and return to the URL and video URLs approach. I can get rid of some of these comments that seem sort of obvious to me. Maybe that's just me. Like get transcript, it's in the method name. That's not a helpful comment. Get playlist URL. I kind of want to make this into an environment variable. Yeah, we can do both. If the environment variable is there, use it. If not, ask. So let's go to GPT. Only prompt for if the environment variable is not found within Azzy, been teaching myself Kotlin and Android Studio this summer between college courses. So this is fun to watch. Can't wait to be able to do something like this. Hey, kudos on the Kotlin. We love to see it. Muddy Water, can you daisy chain from one to another for infinite space using one point of contact? I cannot. If you can, let me know. Muddy Water, that's a funny name. I used to go to school with this guy named Nick Madower, and we used to call him Muddy Water. He was into fencing. Are you into fencing? Python.env, yeah, we need that. Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control S. Here I am checking my poetry toml. .env is not here, so I will poetry add python.env. Not into fencing. Yeah, neither am I. So I don't know. F if you're into fencing in the chat, I guess. Anu? I'll call you Anu. I'm not sure how to say the full username. Asks, what are we building? The answer is a transcription service where you pass in a YouTube video playlist and it will compile a collected transcript that I can then send over to Claude for LLM usage. What's poetry as opposed to pip? They resolve dependencies differently. So poetry will generate a lock file. So if you have used Yarn or NPM, you'll be familiar with a lock file where it spells out your indirect dependencies and freezes them as well. It's not all roses, so there are some negative side effects with poetry. So if you have a customized like Python or C Python build process, Poetry is not going to be compatible with that. But if you're staying in just like sort of vanilla Python world, I'm personally a huge fan of Poetry. And you can integrate it into your TOML so you don't have like a separate requirements file. You can also define scripts just like you would in a package.json. Anuj. Is it Anuj? Did I say it right? No worries. Thank you so much. So yeah, RBGB. The reason we use Poetry basically, the reason I use Poetry basically is to get the lock file so I can freeze my indirect dependencies. There are also some cases where pip cannot resolve. You might sometimes see an error, like if you have certain packages installed, it would say like pip cannot determine the right version because you have two things that depend on different versions of a downstream. Sometimes Poetry can fix that. Also, sometimes we'll have that issue and pip won't. And that's not, so that's to say that one is not better than the other. They just resolve dependencies differently. So the case for Poetry in my book is so that you can get a lock file. And then there's this secondary case, which is not always preferred, but is sometimes preferred, is if it will resolve and pip tools won't. Muddy Water, I'm a thinker, wish to team up with a coder. Well, you came to the right place. My eyeball itches. Hey, if you're getting a kick out of the video, hit the like button, send it to your aunt, and high five the subscribe button. Thanks. Okay, so we have .env now. We need to make sure that the Python script itself is updated. Here we load .env. That's what I love to see. Control C. We'll drop it right after the import row. Gonna immediately load it. Immediately load it. Bam. I kind of want to wrap the whole thing in a main function, but this is fine, whatever. So we load it. This is called a, this is like top level scripting or loose code. Loose code. I'm typically not a fan of loose code, but it doesn't really hurt anything in this case. Because this is like a true script, right? This is not actually application code. There's not a persistent server or anything like that. Write JSON file. Isn't that super helpful? By the way, this line does not write the JSON file. This line does. JSON dump video data, output path F. So if anything, it should go down there. But actually, I just think it's just not a helpful line at all. Okay. Iterate through, like, come on. Some of these comments are not helpful. All right, so we load .env. And this is the secondary change. Otherwise, we're good. So previously, every time I would prompt for the URL, now I don't need to. That's the benefit of what we just did. Okay. Now let me create an env file. What happens if I run it like this? It should not error, it should merely prompt. Good. I'm going to break out. Now I will add my .env. And here I am providing a value, which is, what's that key name? YouTube playlist URL equals this playlist URL over here, just so I don't have to keep like copying it over. Let me throw that in single, whoa, what just happened, bro? Let me throw that in single quotes. And this time it should not ask me. Oh, an error occurred. Liddy. Emil says, what are you doing? We are getting transcripts for all this stuff. I'm going to break this. And we can see it's working. So it's building JSON files over here. I want it to be within a folder. We have the video data folder. So it's working basically. The reason I broke it is because we have incorrect error handling. Actually, it's not really incorrect. It just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. So we don't really have error handling. Yeah, we do. Okay, I just scared myself. So this is handling the error. An error occurred when trying to get the transcript of the video. So in a lot of cases, the issue is that the transcript doesn't exist. I'm going to create a should bust cache boolean. Let's add a boolean to the .env file with a default value of false. If this value is false, we should not for a given YouTube video ID. If the cache is enabled and the output JSON file already exists, do not make an API call to get the transcript. Does that make sense, what we're doing? He's doing transcripts, yeah. What does that mean? Like making transcripts for videos? Yeah, so check it out. So here's like a YouTube video, and it has these little ... here, and you can see show transcript, and it has all this text. It has all this text. And so we want to get that text so I can send it to like ChatGPT pretty much. So technically this is called Claude, but it's another large language model like ChatGPT, and that will let all of the users of the Latterly website. So here's Latterly, link in my bio. Users of this website for free, 100% free, will get access to a high quality chatbot that helps them learn to code. By the way, like go sign up. Go sign up. And this will send you, after, like one of the first steps in the checklist is to join a Discord. And that's my Discord, and then I'll be able to talk to you after the stream. So that'll be cool. Hope to see you there. Sure, you can add should bust cache. Bam, bam, bam. Here is the defaulted env. Control C, click. We out here, we in here, we in and out here like a burger. Enter VS. Okay, so now we're grabbing the environment variables. I'm going to hoist these. That means put them in a higher location in the script. So now we load .env and we immediately grab those variables. I think it makes sense for those to go together. I'm going to similarly flip this just because playlist URL is used there, so it makes sense in my mind that we will utilize it as soon as possible. Oh, that's an interesting concept and not hard to implement either. Nice. Thanks, Burner. Oh, cool username, BurnerPOG. That's a cool username. And thanks for the likes on the video. Yeah, I think it's a bit of an art, right? Try to find features that are really helpful, that are not that hard to implement. And if you can nail that, it seems like a win to me. True or false? Output path, video ID. And we're putting it before the YouTube variable. Makes sense, so I'll drop it right there. What libraries do you have to use? Oh, heteroskedasticity. Whoa! Bro in the chat is talking about heteroskedasticity. That's pretty cool. We doing some stats out here. We got some ML people out here. What libraries do you have to use? For this, the answer's up here. Those are the ones I'm importing. And JSON and OS are built-ins. So really these three. Watchy one of your videos. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay, so should bust cache is false. Control X Z F V, and I'm checking for the case matching. So it's looking for the down case. It's looking for the down case. I don't like that. Oh, it's too lower. Okay, so it's case insensitive. I do like that. So if you put any value there, it will be false unless the value put is true. And that works for me. So if I put like banana, it will evaluate to the false Boolean. And that works for me because I think that that is kind of safe in a way. It depends on like what your concept of programmatic safety is here, but it's safe in the way that it's least expensive because making API calls is expensive. So it's safe in that way. From a data integrity standpoint, you could argue that it's not safe. You could argue that the safe thing to do from that standpoint is to always bust the cache. And that's why you can go fork this code. This is all open source. So you can flip the default to true if you want to. So this is laterally 3. Laterally 3. I know it's hard to see on my little TikTok iPhone stream. Sorry, y'all. So, but you can go over to YouTube and see the full screen. And this is all open source. Control Z, Control Shift Z. We're looking good. Okay, so we check if this path exists. Output dir is already defined. Love to see it. I need to commit here pretty soon because I'm making too many changes at once. So let me go ahead and make sure this works. I'm going to discard all of these changes. Oh, the other one thing I wanted to do is maybe an error occurred when trying to get the transcript of the video. The transcript may not exist. Can I /n like that? I think I can /n like that. Thanks for the follow, Josh. The transcript may not exist. Yep, that seems to work for me. Ryan Dickinson, thank you for the likes. Control click this one, open, and let's go see, does this one have a transcript? This one also aired out. 7 likes on that one. We love to see it. Let me like it too. Do I like my own videos? Yeah, sometimes I do. So you see the transcript is not here. And I think that's okay because I think this video doesn't have a transcript. I think it's like, I don't know, playing some music or something and then you kind of just read the text. Cool. So I think this is a win. We're building up. We got 40. We're going to keep cruising, homie. We got to get to like 600. So I'm going to go ahead and eagerly commit the core logical change in the main file, and then we'll just be building up these JSON files. So this I'm going to call a feature, and that is combine whatever. I don't want to say combine libraries. I want to say get transcripts and other API call data. I think it has a Husky hook, so it might take a minute to do that. And this is the boring part of the video, y'all. We kind of just have to sit back and collect some data. We're at about 85 now. One thing I can do, I can go ahead and stop the process to ensure that caching works. I'll also say that technically we don't need to get all the transcripts for the purpose of this stream, and I can sort of like go get the other ones later. I want to do another thing, which is if the transcript is none, no, we should be safe. We should be safe. Even if the transcript is none, we should still be caching. So let's look at one of these, for example, JHL. So let's look in these files. We should be able to find a JHL. So it should be cached even if the transcript is absent, which is what I want. So here's the JHL, and the transcript is null. So I think that's good. And so next time I resume, it's not going to keep getting these errors over and over. It'll just skip over them. That seems desirable to me. Okay, so here I will feature cache some short data, short vids data. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. Hopefully that makes sense to you. By the way, this current stream is part of a playlist. I build in public. I work on this thing called Latterly. Here's my live. And so Latterly has a Building Latterly playlist, and we're currently on, I think, part 18 or 19, something like that. Hours and hours and hours of the sauce here, if you will. We got integrating Stripe, working with AI tools, back end, front end, full stack, the whole shebang. Finding changed files since the prior revision. Well, there are changed files since the prior revision. That is called coding. Let's use the CLI instead. Fixing up scripts. What is the fixing up? Is it just adding these line breaks? That's so lame. I hate that so much. I'll revert this one. Okay, let's look over here on GitHub and look at the pull request. File change number should be over 100 now. Yep, so now we have all these JSON. Let's go look at our friend JH, the one with the null transcript, JHL2. And I just want to confirm that when it said like fixing it up, all it was doing was formatting. Yeah. Like whatever, dude. Like it was fine before you did that, but go off. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is loop through that directory and consolidate the scripts. Let's write another script called consolidate.py that loops through the video data dir and consolidates the transcripts. Please note that I only want the consolidated output. The consolidated output should be a .txt file. Each entry, each JSON file should yield a text block that looks like this. Video ID. Let's see, do I even want the video ID? I'm going to want the URL, so I don't really need them both. And I want the URL so that Claude will be able to cite the video. That is so clean. That is so clean. Again, with the comments that we don't need, or that I don't need, but whatever. Maybe it's helpful for some people. But that is a clean script. Let's double check where the output is written. Here I'm right clicking, new file. We're gonna call this consolidate.py, enter. Control V, Control S, Control A, left. I'm dropping some of these. Okay, consolidated transcript.txt, cool. And so that would seem to be within this YouTube transcriber as a direct child of this folder, which is what I want with OpenW. So it's going to be right there, which is what I want. Data directory does not exist. And I'm just going to make this say, like, the directory containing transcription data. Containing raw transcripts. So like one of these would be a raw transcript. What? By the way, what the hell transcript is this? I'm in Harmony. So I feel like I would be able to drop these strings, but we'll see how this goes. This will be a brilliant test case, right? When I look at the transcription output, what does this look like? And by the way, are they adding line breaks? Or is this like a run-on sort of thing? Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control S. If you're getting a kick out of the video, tap the like button for me. That will help the algorithm send it around so that we can help everyone learn to code. Get rid of some of these comments. Load the video. Yes, we know that the load method loads the video. And yes, believe it or not, the write method writes the data. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. The directory containing raw transcripts does not exist. So that's like the sad path, if you will. And then otherwise we proceed the directory does exist, the output file may or may not exist. We are writing it in either case. Okay, we loop through the OS lister. Good. We only find the ones that end with JSON, which makes sense. Like that should be all of them, but smart, defensive. In programming, sometimes we say defensive, and that can be a good thing. So your mom or your dad might say, "Hey, don't be defensive." But if your pair programmer says you're being defensive, that's a compliment. And so you just say, "Thanks, buddy." Okay. Here we can see we are doing segment text for segment in video data transcript. And so that is grabbing this text key. It looks to me that these will only be space separated, not line break separated. I think we can just do one of these. Like, yeah, that should fix the whole problem. Now music should be on its own line there, which is the way that I want it. I think it's more readable. Otherwise, the text will be going way off to the side, and I'll have to scroll to read it. I don't want to do that. I got time for that. URL, title, transcript, and then it does append the line break. And then it does have a prior line break. Good. So I should see a visual space, like a line break, that separates each of these entries. Let's roll it. Python. Consolidate. That failed so quickly. Wow. Lean coffee method, fail fast, right? Or lean startup method, whatever. Failing, I'm not into failing. Bums me out. So what failed? So the none type object is not iterable within this block. Control F, Control V, because sometimes there is no transcript. In video data transcript here, I should just be able to add an if clause. It's joining the array. Yeah, so I just want to open it, get the data, and then say if. I could indent all of that, but I don't really want to. So I'll say if not, continue, just to keep it from nesting. This might still error if it attempts to access the transcript and the transcript key doesn't exist at all. I think the transcript key does exist in the null case. Let's check our good old friend J, the J test case. JHL2. So even when it's null, the key is present. Does that make sense? Otherwise, I would have to do a different operation such as the .get, which is robust to the possibility that the key is altogether absent. Thanks for the follow, Ross. Thanks for being here. But I would prefer a strict schema. So this access pattern, this is called an access pattern, implies a strict type on video data. Now, admittedly, technically here we have an any type. So I just kind of magically know that the type exists. So we can add a typed dict. Let's do that. We'll add a typed dict for video data. Ooh, it's so fast. It's so fast with the strong typing. Y'all thought Python didn't have types. Some of y'all thought that. Some of y'all thought, why is he writing out a type? Isn't this Python? Yeah, but it's Python in 2023. You can do that now. You can totally do that now. And so what's the benefit of this? if you are new to my code base, you now are confident that in these hundreds of JSON files, they're going to comply with a strict schema. There's not going to be a dynamic schema where some JSON files are doing goofy things, which is good for your developer confidence. Do I want typing or typing extensions? Let's see. I guess I want type. No, I don't. Because what version of Python am I using? 3.9. The reason this is giving me the confusedness is because in 3.9 I should not need to import list or optional. Into the typing module. Cool. Dude, oh no. This makes me sad. I understand some people have to do this if you're in like certain weird migration settings, but I'm not there. So we're going to just do the thing that doesn't make us sad, which is this thing. Now where's the optional list? Instead, we're going to downcase the list. We're going to list, and then we are going to or none it. And I like to prior the none. I like to prior the none like this. Alternative syntax, Python 3.10 or newer. Man, I thought I had it in 3.9. All right, I don't have time to update my installation of Python. So we will use the optional keyword after all. Big sad, big sad. So here I'm hovering and I'm grabbing it out of typing extensions. I'm grabbing it out of typing. I don't actually know how to code. So, and I don't know where things are and what things do. So y'all should probably unsub. Thanks. Javier, thanks for the likes. Okay, so here, want to do a couple things. First of all, want to rerun the main file to ensure that caching works. So let's run that. Bam, bam, bam. It already exists in cache. Look at all those. Cool. So in my book, that basically just proved it already. And we don't need a lot of these. I mean, that's good enough already. Okay. So we demonstrated that caching works. And ew, that's, what is this? So I'll commit the initial consolidate file. So here we have feat init consolidate, consolidated transcript. Bam. So we'll commit that. Question: in order to become an AI researcher, is it okay to get my bachelor's degree in computer engineer? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. That's okay. Let's commit again. We've now staged some additional transcripts. Sandy, thanks for the follow. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube. The link is in my bio and see the full screen. Another reminder, this is all open source. Here is the repository Vanderveer Latterly 3. And these are just the JSON data. We can collapse that folder, and like here's basically the logic. So the logic itself is not too wild, in my opinion. For this pull request anyway. If you want to learn to code, link in my bio, latterly.io. And we're working on setting up the chatbot for the free tier. Please consider supporting a paid tier as little as $1 a month. Your time, your effort, your support enables the free tier to get more stuff. And that's really important to me. I don't know about you. Cool. So here we are. It looks like the push already concluded. Okay, VS Code updated there. Paul, thanks for the follow. So here we are looking at the consolidated transcript. The first thing, we're going to want to redo it because now I have more JSON data. But also, I want to patch up some silliness. The first silliness, that apostrophe is not an apostrophe. Isn't that silly? Remix isn't cool. It's totally not. It's totally not. But also, we need to fix the apostrophes. I don't know if I want ums. And let's do our test case. What is this? Our test case was about music. So music is only here once, which I find peculiar. Because here in our test case, doesn't it say music twice? I'm in harmony. So harmony is not here at all. So somehow this file is being skipped, which is Bummerville. I interrupted it, didn't I? I interrupted the script. So let's try the Python consolidate all over again. Maybe I didn't interrupt the script. I don't know what's going on. Music. I'm in harmony. Okay, we got it. So this is good. Can you hop on a quick call? I think this is a non-UTF character. So let's filter non-UTF characters. Or do I want to try fixing the apostrophe? Writing apostrophes generated problematic characters in the output file like this. Can we, ideally, we should replace problematic characters. Ideally, we should write apostrophes appropriately. But if we are not able to do that, then we can simply filter non-UTF characters. Please suggest a coding approach. Cool. So let's try the explicit encoding. That solved a bunch of these problems for me in the past. So we write over here. Is this where we do it? Ah, okay, at open time. It's encoding at open time. Is there a dash in UTF-8 or is it all one? By the way, why is it single quote, single quote, single quote, and then this is a W, and this is a double quote? So that's weird. Okay, my format on safe made it consistent. So let's Python consolidate. Let's try it again. What are you coding? We are creating a priming script for a chatbot. And we are doing that by transcribing YouTube videos that talk about how to learn to code. We're consolidating them into a single large transcript over here. Okay, now we got these double quotes. Yeah, these dudes, I really don't like these dudes. Let's replace grammatical quotes and apostrophes with their simple forms. I really don't like the boilerplate of this, but okay. Whatever, it's not going to hurt anything. A little boilerplate never killed anyone. Just go ask a Java developer if they're still alive. If you can find one that's still alive, then go ask them. Okay, and this is when wrapping it all up would make sense. So let's go ahead and wrap it all up. So here I'll define replace. Oops. Oh, I don't know how to use keyboards either. I really don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's do this again. Control Z, Control Shift, Shift, Shift. Bam, V. Good. Here I'll define main. I'm going to indent all this stuff. Bam. Indent all this stuff in main. Update the file to call main if the file is invoked directly. And that was with a typo. I'm sorry, homie. You know what I mean, though. It's the dunder name. Yeah, that's the block that I needed. Thank you. You gave me just what I needed. So here we're going to dunder main. If that, then do main. Cool. The two underscores in Python is called a dunder method. Also, maybe also not in Python. I'm not sure if that goes across languages or not. Let's try this one more time. And what do we expect to happen now? Now, when I view this file, can you hop on a quick call? These are grammatical quotes, and they should be replaced with ordinary quotes or simple double quotes. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Look at the beauty. Music, I'm in harmony. Don't. Can't. So now the apostrophes are looking gorgeous. This is everything we need in life. Ew, look how gross this is. That's gross. Look how nice this is. We want to be nice, not gross, right? Can you teach me? Yeah, definitely. Check the link in my bio, latterly.io. And here's a step-by-step checklist to help you learn to code and land a job. You can also book a call with me. Where's that? Oh yeah, book an expert session in the big pink letters. You can book a call with me. Super secure, you can pay through Stripe. Also, if you want to learn how to integrate Stripe, check the YouTube video because I build in public. And this is all out there. Playlists. Building Latterly playlist. And there's a bunch of videos where I was adding Stripe. Cool, thanks for being here, y'all. Good questions, keep them up. Close these, I don't need these anymore. So now, this is looking good. So now I am going to feat initial transcript. Let's just see what Claude does with this thing. I think it's too big. I don't think we need all this. But even though it contains a bunch of information that we don't need, there's a bunch of ways we can optimize it. For example, if the description is none, I could just skip the line. Also, we can skip the lines that that say music. I could add a manual field, like an audit field, like I could go by hand through the videos and be like, skip this one, basically, and just completely remove this. Because honestly, like, what value is this short bringing? None of the text in the transcript here is actually edifying for the purpose that I intend to customize the chatbot. Does that make sense? So that would be another way to save. Move to the left a little, and that should say word. I know what that's referring to. That was a trend. It's just this. The title is just word. So again, this is not a useful video. So we can save tokens. So Claude has a limited token amount. So does GPT-4. The thing is, though, Claude has a really big token limit. So I almost don't care. The other thing we can do is we can, because Claude has a large token limit and other LLMs like GPT-4 have a smaller token limit, instead of manually addressing these issues, I can have Claude address the issues and Claude provide the output that I then take to GPT-4. Did that make sense, or was that too many 5D chess? I can get rid of all these music blocks. We can save a bunch of tokens, basically. One thing at a time. Okay, so in the background, I'm going to run the Python main that will continue to scrape and transcribe. We're going to do that in the background. In the foreground, we're going to come over here to Claude. I'm going to say, using the attached transcripts, summarize the first 3 steps that Latterly recommends for you to learn to code. And that is not even 100 kilobytes, right? So the data load here, I can do 5, 10 megabyte files. So the data load here is like not a big deal. Let's go to a OpenAI token counter. I don't want to use a bunch of tokens just because I can. Oops, try something shorter. So this is too big for GPT-4, but it's not too big for Claude. Wow. Okay. So cutting it in half was about 10,000 tokens. So we're dealing with about 20,000 tokens here, it seems. Based on the transcript, here are the first 3 steps Latterly recommends. Start with the fundamentals: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Oh yeah, it's working. That's the truth. Build projects. Step 1, learn the fundamentals. Step 2, build projects. Guys, I can retire. Y'all don't need to ask me anymore. You can just ask the Claude chatbot now. It knows. Step 3, use documentation. Latterly recommends using official React documentation while building projects. The React docs are high quality and a good reference. Okay, let's see. What is the website for the official React documentation? Let's see if it knows. I think it'll have to go outside of my transcripts because I don't think my transcripts have this URL like in the transcript, right? Like I talk about the official website, but I don't like mention https://. So Claude is doing this piece. And it did a mediocre job because it sent us to the old React docs. Okay, these are the new React docs, though. Dan Abramov, the guy. I'm not as familiar with Rachel. but kudos to her work on these docs. Okay, so this seems really good. Hey, I don't know. Let me know, chat. What is a question we should ask the chatbot here? This seems to be like a major win. Now, how should I attach this to the UI is another question. Okay, here's a good one. What projects should I build? Based on the transcript, Latterly does not specify exactly what projects you should build when learning React. Ooh. Don't I, though? Maybe not. So I don't know which ones got scraped, right? So maybe in the ones that are included, maybe I don't. Problem with posts like these is that they beg the question, okay, here's 30 ideas, but I still want to know which one I should do. And no junior is going to do 30 projects for a web. Do a blog and a portfolio site, then come up with an idea that's unique to you. That being said, Code Academy is really great. That's where I taught myself to code years ago and joined their face group here. Yeah, so I do directly answer which projects. Do a blog and a portfolio site, then come up with an idea that's unique to you. Those are the three. Those are the three. However, I can understand how it would be hard for Claude to get it, basically, based on that. Do I say blog again? If you're hunting for your first job, here are 3 ideas that would apply to you: a blog, a flashcard app, and a portfolio app that points to those 2. Right? So the title is 3 portfolio projects that matter as a coder. Claude should really get that. Claude should really get that. So that's kind of an L. Kind of an L there, Claude. What portfolio projects really matter as a coder? Let's see if I can pick it out with that wording. Latterly recommends these 3 portfolio projects that matter as a coder. Okay, cool. 2 out of 3. Yo, it's getting 2 out of 3. Give me a question, y'all. What should I ask it? Overall, Latterly emphasizes projects that solve real problems, not just basic toy apps. I'm blushing, dude. I'm blushing, Claude. You get it. The goal is to demonstrate that you build apps that provide real value to users. Preach, though. Okay, I'm not seeing in the chat, I'm not seeing any specific questions, so let's see if I can come up with another one. I don't like JavaScript. What other language should I think about learning instead? I don't really know if I'm expecting it to give a good answer. It might say TypeScript, it might say Python. Yeah. Here's some alternative to consider instead. Python, yep. Go, no. Claude, do not say go. At least not for juniors anyway. Oh, man. Niskash, I hate JS. Yeah, me too. Me too. You should still learn it though. It should say TypeScript. It should definitely have TypeScript up here. Python is understandable that it's up here. Java is understandable that it's up here. You literally lost me when you go into C#, Ruby, Go, C++. Like, no. No. It should say Python, Java, TypeScript. Those are the three others that you can consider. Hey, where did you come up with the code to use? Like just from the top of your head? Crypto Tracker, is this ChatGPT? No, it's Claude. You can go sign up for an account with Claude for free. And it has a higher token limit, is why we're using that instead of GPT-4. No, I did not come up with the code from the top of my head. I worked together with GPT-4. Here's another question. How should I get started learning to code? And then I want to ask it about my development environment. So we're keeping score here, right? It got a win. It got a, we can call this like half a win. Here it failed. So we're on track for 50%, 1.5 out of 3 at this point. Here it got this right, 2.5 out of 4. Here it got this wrong, so 2.5 out of 5. So it's up to 50% until, let's see how it goes right here. Here's some tips from Laterally on how to get started learning to code. Start with the fundamentals, learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React first to build a solid base. Just start. Don't try to make your life perfect first. Dive into learning and see where it takes you. Focus on employabilities. Use a quality curriculum, free Code Camp, Codecademy, or Laterally. So this is good, but like specifically, where do I start? If I start by learning HTML, where should I go to learn HTML? Niskash, can I join you? I need to learn JS. I'm new to coding. HTML and CSS is easy, but having trouble with. I'm on Node right now. Yeah, check the link in my bio, yo. Come join the Discord. We love Node over there. Crypto Tracker, thanks for the follow. Here's some specific recommendations. Codecademy, Free Code Camp, MDN, W3 Schools, YouTube, CodePen, and Laterally. Their trial by... Yes! Ding, ding, ding. That's the right answer. Okay, so let's... This is like a yellow flag in my book because like it got there, but it got there like way at the bottom. Let me roll task it. I think I need to tweak the prompt basically. I lost my job, so I'm changing my career, learning how to code now while job hunting. Godspeed, good luck. Kudos to you for trying. Okay, so what we want to do now, basically what I'm seeing is that it's scoring about 50%, right? Which, first of all, it's the free tier, right? So part of me says you get what you pay for. The other thing is that's based on an incomplete transcript. So it should be much better when we get these like 500 other transcripts, right? It should be much better. And third, this is without prompt engineering. So I think we're going to get better. All of that being said, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I don't actually expect a free benefit to be equal to like literally talking to me, right? But I think we can get better than 50% though. Crypto Tracker, software engineer for 2 years now, trying to up my skill. Hey, if you are a mid-level or if you're trying to get to the mid-level, I would strongly encourage you to book a call with me instead of following the standard checklist. So the standard checklist is targeted at helping people learn the basics of programming and getting that first role, whether it's an intern role or a junior level role. If you want to go mid, senior, staff, principal, you really should book a one-on-one session. The checklist You might like cover your basics or like, refresh your basics with the checklist. But it's really not going to help you get up to senior. There is this advanced checklist, which will help you a little bit more. So maybe check that out. You can do as little as $1 a month. But yeah, pull up to the Discord after the show, and it'll be good to chat with you. Okay, so what am I doing now? What I'm doing now is, I wanted to show you the trial by fire is right up here. So literally, you go to the checklist. You start by learning HTML. Where? With the trial by fire. It's right there. It's right there. So Claude got the answer, but man, did it take a long time to get there, right? And then it put it at like the bottom of the list under YouTube. Oh man. This is like almost a personal attack. It's like, go check out Kevin Powell's videos before you check out anything John ever made. Like, bro, that's so rude. No, shout out to Kevin. Good job, Kevin. Yeah. Shout out to Kevin. Good job, dude. All right, we made it through all of the transcripts. Let's try the new consolidation file. Whew. How many lines do we have now? So we went from, what, about 2,000 lines to about 11,000 lines. And so theoretically, it's on my clipboard. And I pretty much want to ask it the same questions and just see if it does a better job now. So let's go over to Claude again. So I'm just Control V, I just drop it in there. Message is 16% over the length limit. Try replacing the attached file with smaller excerpts. Okay. What does it mean it's 16% over the length limit? Cool. So here I will do a feature which is full transcript. Okay, so I'll commit that. Man, I'm starting to get a toxic trait here. Part of me is like, maybe I should have the super clean data be reserved for the premium tier. I think I'm not going to do that though. It feels too toxic. I could save a good bit. Yeah, no. It said 16% over, and I think I could actually save 16%. But I'll deal with that some other time. Because I think the main way that I'm going to save is by identifying videos that I just don't need the whole video, rather than dropping the music phrase or ums. Let's see, how many times does show up here? "56 ums." So we're not saving a ton of space with the ums, right? How many times does music show up? It shows up 100 times, which seems like semi-substantial, but if you consider the fact that many of the times music shows up, the whole thing can go. Like a bunch of these can just go. So how many would remain? Like, I don't think many. This fix-up thing keeps ruining my commits. It's literally just formatting JSON files. So whatever. So I can save 16%, or I can split these out into multiple files. So let's explore the splitting them out piece. If I split out every 100 files, we're still looking at like 6 or 10 files, which is too many. So what if I split them out into every 250 files or every 300 files? So that seems like that would insulate me. I know in the near future, the YouTube channel will be over 1,000 shorts, believe it or not. So can I cut it down to 500? I don't think so. I think that's too many, allowing too many. So let's try for 400. Let's try for 400. This will be called allowed what? Like, I don't know about this name, but whatever. Are you working on a project? Yep, it's open source. It's called Latterly 3. It's the website that you saw. I think you've been here, right? So this website is what we're working on. So we're working on giving the free tier a chatbot, basically. Okay, let's push that. Revert this one. And now we are going to allow JSON per txt. Allow JSON per txt. Check if we should bust cache. That's fine, that one can stay. So video data. Here we are just writing into this single txt file at the output path. This is what we need to change. So let's take this over to no, the main file is fine. We need to change the consolidate file. Right click, close others. And I'll put it to do. Create a new output txt file for each I'm not going to put it to do there. I'm going to put this as a prompt to GPT. So here we say, consider the current state of the code. And then I'll give it a task. Use to create multiple output txt files. Each file should be formed on the basis of. This is like not a good way to say it, but it's good enough. Be formed on the basis of no more than the number of files defined in this constant. Cool, so it created a output file pattern, and now we're going to interpolate an F string. JSON count, and the pattern gets interpolated through the format method. Good, this is what I want. This is what I want. It was able to understand me. Good job. So let's try to consolidate again. So I should get 2 files is what I'm expecting. Bam, 1 and 2. Okay. Then I can delete this. So here, and then I also want to have a priming question. Where should I put the priming question? So that should be like its own file, right? Priming prompt.txt. Role, you are a customer support chatbot for Latterly, a service that helps individuals learn to code, accelerate their tech career, and obtain a job in the tech field, tech industry. Context. Consider the attached transcripts from Latterly educational videos. Task. Assist the a Latterly member would like to have some questions answered. For now, simply say, I have loaded the Latterly transcript data. How can I assist you? when they respond, proceed as when they respond, do your best to provide a helpful answer. Make sure to mention when you are providing advice not directly based on the transcript data. Make sure to mention when you are only guessing or estimating. Make sure to mention when you are not sure of the correct answer. Do not make anything, avoid making up, avoid presenting a guess as a true statement. Cool. So I think this is helpful. So let's take this priming prompt and I'll place it right here. And then I will attach 2 transcripts. So we go to GitHub, laterally 3, scripts, transcriber 1 and 2. Open. Message is 17% over the length limit. Try replacing the attached files with smaller excerpts. There's 1,000 kilobytes in a megabyte, right? Why? Oh, okay. So I should do them one at a time. So I can still send all this stuff. I can still send all this stuff. I should just do it one at a time. Okay. A Laterally member would like to have some questions answered. Before answering, make sure that you have loaded all transcripts, all Laterally data, all the expected, before answering, make sure that you have loaded the expected Laterally background information. For now, okay, how many files are expected? There are 2 files are expected. For now, simply say, I have loaded the first file of Laterally transcript data. Please upload the second. When the user uploads the second file, state, I have loaded all expected Laterally background information. Then list the file names you have received. Then state, how may I help you? And proceed in conversation. Okay, so let's use this altered prompt. So I'm attaching the first one. Okay, I get no error from the website. Let's send that. And it should tell me that it's ready for the second one. I'm actually not sure if Claude is able to reflect file names. I've never tried prompting it this way, so we will see if this works. Quick reminder, if you're on TikTok, you can go to YouTube and see the full screen. Make sure to like the video if you're getting a kick out of it, follow, and share with a friend. Please upload the second. All right. Message is 96% over the remaining length limit. Try replacing the attached file with smaller excerpts. Okay. Okay, so the issue is not the file size, the issue is the token count, I take it. So I think we are over 100K tokens at this point. This is the smaller file. This is the smaller file. Let's go ahead and try to count how many tokens are in here. Yeah, maxed out that one. Token estimator. So here we're using 3 different estimators. 74,481. So 74K tokens. This is in the smaller file. So altogether, we're definitely over 140K tokens, which means we have too much information to chat with Claude. Too much information. So I need to come up with a consolidation strategy, basically. And I think the main way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to go through by hand and annotate like this one. This just doesn't need to be here. And this is an open source project, so feel free to browse the JSON files and annotate them yourself. I'm going to create a property, probably just like is low value property. And have the consolidation logic skip those. And we'll see how far that cuts it. So that's going to do it for today's stream. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you next time. And next time, I'm very confident we will have something for the free tier. There's a substantial chance that Claude will not be able to consume the entirety of the transcription knowledge base. So I may need to do some trimming, some prioritization, some shrinking, and we'll see how that goes. But there will be something for the free tier. And then there will be even like no compromises for the paid tier in the future. But that's going to be a different project. And that won't use Claude at all. That's going to use a more advanced model. So it's going to cost money, so that's why it goes for the paid tier. I'm just wondering, can you get on YouTube videos? What do you mean? These are the YouTube videos. So link is in my bio for my YouTube channel. So hopefully I understood your question. By the way, if you have a question and I didn't get to it, comment on any of my videos and I'll try to respond there. You can also join the Discord. Link is in my bio, and come have a chat. Talk to you later.